All right, welcome everyone. We are back. This is Be the Better Local on the BD Local Podcast Network. Andy Vargo on the mic. Thank you so much for coming through. We had a blast this last guest here.
Almost got in trouble.
But we also have Miss Kayla here. So welcome everyone.
Hello, hello.
And you are with Conquering Today Therapy. And so talk to us a little bit about everything that you have going on. I mean, what is Conquering Today Therapy?
Okay, yeah. So, as you said, I am Kaylee. I am the owner and therapist of Conquering Today Therapy. What it is a private practice located downtown Tacoma. It's actually not too far from where we are right now. Yeah, so the community,
Right
right?
in the heart of the city.
Right
Yeah,
here,
I love
and locals and everything. What I do is I provide therapy to individuals, adolescents, couples that usually can't get access to therapy.
Yeah.
So it is mental health. It's mental health care. It's one-on-one. It's an authentic place for people to come in and kind of just get a place to have support and an unbiased perspective on things.
Yeah.
And I like to think that I can help people that have a lot of issues and a puzzle, basically, right? I'm helping people solve the puzzle. So I'm not doing the puzzle for them. I'm helping them see where the pieces are at and how to put it together
Right.
themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, are there certain services that you offer through therapy or certain things you focus on as far as issues that you work with more people than others?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that because with therapy, there's just so much, right? There's things that can range from people having severe mental illnesses, and then there's people who are just like, oh, I'm kind of having a daily struggle with depression.
Sure.
So with me, I do more of the lower end. So I don't see people with like severe mental illnesses. That would be, having to get much more broader services of like case management and getting into a unit, right? But with me, what I do is I help people with day-to-day struggles. My specialties are trauma and addiction. And I don't know if you guys have realized, but unfortunately, addiction impacts a lot of people, especially in this area. So what I do is I help people not only who are going through addiction issues, but the people that they've affected.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like to bring it full circle around. I help people who have family members who are currently suffering through addiction. I see the person themselves who are suffering through addiction. And it's a huge need here in the Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're not providing therapy for the one that's actually going through the depression, but that family member, do you have separate cases like that someone's coming to you because of something that's happening in their home, they don't know where else to turn to, versus kind of being more reactive, having someone there for therapy who needs the therapy, not necessarily the family member who also needs that secondary therapy? So do you see that correlation come through? Like, how can I say this the easiest? So you have people that would have those day-to-day struggles, and then those family members. Do you have the family members coming to you first to seek help prior to the people that are immediately having those day-to-day issues?
So what happens with that is because of confidentiality and wanting to be able to provide such a unique environment for somebody, I can only see one or the other.
Right. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if there is someone who has a family member that is suffering through a trauma or addiction or anything, and they need support on how to help this individual and on themselves of like, well, how can I better take care of myself so then I can help provide, right? So then I can help that person, or then the person who's actually suffering through the things can come and see me, but never together. I don't do family
Right.
therapy.
Yeah.
And within that, the couples is a little bit different. So
Sure.
if there's a partner in the relationship who is an addict or going through trauma, then I can see them both together. So it gives me the opportunity to help people from so many different perspectives and ways, but there are still, of course, like the limitations around that.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you help people access therapy who might not otherwise be able to access it. How do you do that?
Yes. So I am one of the few people here in downtown Tacoma that offer a reduced fee.
Okay.
And with that, what it is I don't know if anyone here has ever like tried to get into a doctor and having to call multiple doctors who like, hey, can you take my insurance? Oh yeah, I can take your insurance.
Right.
So that's one hurdle, right? Like, okay, great, you take my insurance. I need to come see you as soon as possible. Oh, no, you can't come see me for another 2 months. I don't have openings
Right.
for 2 months. And that's what's happening here in Tacoma a lot, especially with mental health care. One, finding someone that accepts and takes your insurance is a huge struggle. And then two, trying to find someone who has an opening to be able to be seen. What I do right now is offering with a reduced fee. I allow people to come in and see me not using insurance. So I do not accept insurance. It's private pay, it's out of pocket. And I allow these people to be like, okay, well, I can't really afford to come see somebody because I have insurance and I can't get in with insurance. What I do is I work with people to see what they can pay.
Sure.
Right. So I'll kind of start off with the basic, like, this is what my fee is. Where can you find something that you're comfortable paying? And we'll kind of go through back and forth. And I just really work with people to bridge that gap of, like, you know, you need to get in, you need to see somebody. This is something that's really important to you, but you're just a barrier.
Yeah.
And what I do is I'm trying to break down those barriers and
Good for
allow
you.
people, and allow people to come in and meet them where they're at. So the reduced fee is just me giving back to the community, saying, I have this thing that I can help you with. Why have all these barriers
Yeah.
that are getting in your way? So I'm offering this this
And it
opportunity.
sounds very individualized. So it's not it's here or nothing. It's
Exactly.
let's work together. I love
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. So it's a little bit different than, I don't know if you've ever heard of like a sliding scale.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so sliding scale is more of, okay, like, if you make this much money, you're in this range, you're in this range, you're in this range.
Right.
And sometimes that can even still be worse than what people can,
Sure.
can get, right? Like, so people have child support, some people have, you know, payments that they don't necessarily want to broadcast or is factored into that. So what I do
Sure.
is I really work with each person individually where they can meet me at and what they can do. Because so I have the office here in downtown Tacoma where I'm at Monday through Thursday, but I also have an office all the way up in West Seattle
Oh, okay.
where it's just as in a need too. So I'm able to give people more options
Yeah.
of, like, can you come here? Because a lot of people here actually commute to Seattle and they're like, oh, well, I can't see you within this time and this time. But if they're coming back from their job in, like, Seattle, they can come see me in my other office.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
One of the things I was just thinking about, you were talking about, just because someone makes something on paper doesn't mean you don't know what they're going through. And you're working with a lot of people that have some sort of an addiction day-to-day issue, and sometimes that could be gambling. So just because you make a ton of money, there could be a ton and a half going out the door, so they can't afford the service that's going to overall help them to get out of that situation.
Absolutely.
But that was one of the things I was just thinking. There's different types of therapy, and we have a hypnotherapist that has his own podcast. So we see different wide range of therapies that we just have friends with and deal with. And what are some of the approaches that you take within your therapy?
Yeah, so I consider myself a little bit of a nerd, and I love neuro. So I do a lot of work about like psychoeducation a lot, which is so fun when you hear about it, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to get lectured and stuff, because that's kind of what it's like, but I like to make it a lot more fun. So when individuals come in and they're like, I'm suffering from depression, I have anxiety, or with my specialty being like trauma and stuff, I really help them educate and understand what's happening in the body. So when you go through like a trauma and you start to have memory issues and you have all this like sensory deprivation stuff, you get disassociated, I teach them what's happening in their body. I'm like, okay, so, you know, you have this trauma, you're in fight, flight, or freeze,
Right.
you know, and I go
So you
through.
can learn how the science is working to make those choices.
Yes. So some people can consider that neuro counseling. So I do a lot of neuro. I do a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. But I do all the sciences, right? And there's so many different things to pull from. And along with how the reduced fee works, where I cater it toward each person, so do I with what approach I use.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because, me being a nerd, I love worksheets. I love books and things like that. So if a client kind of resonates with that, I'm like, come on, let's do this worksheet. Let's read this book. And then some people are like, do not make me do homework. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
no homework. Watch this YouTube video for me, you know?
So you're kind of doing that. So here's the scale of nerd.
Yep.
Where do you want to be at on it?
Exactly. Like, what makes you comfortable? Because therapy
Yeah.
is supposed to be your space. It's supposed to be where you get to be your authentic self. You get to really just say all the things that you're not comfortable saying to anybody else. And then, so, like, I'm not going to give you an approach to kind of work through these problems that you're having if you're going to hate it. So,
Yeah.
if you
Right.
hate worksheets, we're not going to do that.
And that really is a key part to therapy, is on top of finding someone that takes your insurance and all those things, is finding a therapist that you're comfortable working with. And that's why I think it's so great that you're on here today, because people can get a chance to get to know you and get a feel for your style and your personality,
Yeah.
and actually know, is Kaylee someone I would feel comfortable going to, before they even make that call.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Such an amazing thing. And we need more of you. So hopefully, do you need more business? You need more people coming through them doors?
I am pretty booked right now, but I actually just opened up Tuesdays. So
Oh,
I
nice.
was only in Tacoma Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, but
Okay.
I've decided I've had a lot more people reaching out to me
Yeah.
and such that I am now seeing clients on Tuesday also. So I
Awesome.
do have a few more
Yeah.
spots available
Alright.
right now.
So how can they contact you?
Uh,
How can they fill up those spots for your Tuesday?
Absolutely. So you can go to conqueringtodaytherapy.com. You can check out my website on there. I also have a Facebook, but I'm honest, I'm not on Facebook through that too much. So don't judge me on my Facebook page for that. More-
No, you're
right.
hustling
No
it out
judgment.
Monday through Friday right now. And we totally get it.
Yeah, so definitely check out my website, conqueringtodaytherapy.com, and you can email me conqueringtodaytherapy@gmail. That's usually where I'm most available to respond. And I am just like Today's Society. My phone is usually attached to my hip, so I'm pretty good at responding that way.
all
Okay.
right.
Well, this has nothing to do with these questions here, but what are you most excited about this summer?
What am I most excited about this summer? Oh,
Is it opening up the new place? Is it you got a vacation coming up? Just want to get to know Kaylee for a second.
getting to know Kaylee. That wow, that's not pressure whatsoever. Because I'm so work based right now.
Yeah,
So,
I totally get it.
Right? Yeah, this is my world right now. So, I'm getting certified in EMDR. And,
Nice.
And me being a little bit of a geek, I love it. EMDR is another approach that I'll be using with trauma victims and such. So I'm really excited.
Nice.
Now, is that where they use the lights?
Yes, or the
Okay.
fingers.
Yeah.
The light or the
Wow.
finger, right? So,
That is exciting.
so education.
awesome.
I'm down
Yeah.
for some
Yeah.
education.
Well, see, I mean, that's the thing is that when you're passionate about what you do, it is what you love to do each and every day. So it's not like it's work. You're like, well, I
Yeah,
love what I
there's
do,
no
so
line.
this is what my fun is.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's amazing, and you're
get it.
impacting so many people doing it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. We'll make sure that we have your website up on the. Oh, it looks like it's already popped up there on the Facebook live feed.
There you go.
And we'll make sure that you get your own copy of this. And thank you so much for coming on board.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and
Thank
helping
you.
me reach out to the community.
Yeah, for sure. And we will be right back. And this is Be the Better Local. Tune in still. We have another guest. So thank you so much.